About 6 months ago, I created a video guiding you through my Asana boards that I use to make sure I manage all of my content and keep everything very organized and consistent. Back then, I claimed I had the perfect content calendar, but in the meantime, I became a full-time content creator and business owner. And even if I still find my old system useful, I upgraded it and now it's even better. So here are the Asana boards that I use to manage my content roadmap and make sure everything stays very aligned and organized and consistent so that I can create content across several different platforms with ease and speed. I do not have a team and this system is amazing. I'm at the moment at 5 platforms, and I post on YouTube, for example, 3 times a week. I post on Instagram every single day, and this really is enough. Like even if it's just you, it's really, really helpful. So make sure to keep on watching and take notes. If you create a lot of content across different platforms, the first thing you need is a motherboard. This board will contain your entire content calendar and content roadmap. On this board, you will include all of the pieces of content that go out on each day, and you should color coordinate them or tag them in different colors so you know which platform you are talking about with each of the tasks. For example, on this day, I have 3 pieces of content going out across 3 different platforms: YouTube, Instagram, and my blog. They have the same topic, that's why they have the same name. This way, it is super easy to have an overview of everything that's going on in this week and even on the whole month, so you can make sure that you are on top of your game and you can prepare in advance and coordinate everything. And yeah, that makes it way easier to know what's coming up. Inside each task, I include subtasks where I can track my progress. So for example, these are the steps that go into creating a YouTube video for me. I make sure to tick the steps that are already done so I can more easily manage my progress. Practical tip is to, whenever you want to add another task of the same type, so let's say you want to add a new YouTube video next week, then the best way to do it is to just duplicate the task from this week, because this way you don't need to always add all of the subtasks and tag the color and everything. So you just coordinate, duplicate, and then you change the name. This is the easiest way of creating new tasks. You can and you should take this content calendar to a more granular level. So for example, I have here Instagram in orange, and this color would be signal for my grid posts. I would add here, for example, any special content that I'm creating for stories in a different color, as well as IGTVs, lives, etc. This way, because the different tasks, the different types of content involve different work streams, and it's a different process that you use for them. It's easier to coordinate them in different colors. So for example, for IGTVs, I would put them in the same color as YouTube because I tend to repurpose the content, and therefore it's still in the editing room. It's still the same footage that I'm using. So for example, IGTVs, I would myself color it the same color as YouTube, but you can also use something else if, for example, you are using lives for your IGTV and not just repurposing content from YouTube. Be quite honest, and if you want to be very practical, you can manage everything, all of your content efforts from this motherboard, as I like to call it. And I do this at the moment because I don't have a team, and I also don't want to spend too much time on content. I mean, it is one of the biggest things I do. However, it is not the thing that takes me the most time, and that's because I use my proprietary system. So definitely subscribe and like this video if you want to learn more about it, because I can teach you how to create content with ease. As I just told you, I create a lot of content and it is very okay. It's not the majority of my time. What you need to do to make sure that this board is effective is that you add enough detail to each task. For example, I write my blog posts on a Google Doc and attach the link to the respective task. So everything is together. For Instagram, I define my content on the description of the task itself, but most of the planning is done on my phone anyway. If I really want to and do not have the resources, then not much more than this is needed. However, you can always take it to the next level, and you know I have the next level for you. This is where my operational dashboards come in handy. They are so helpful, but if you don't have a team helping you create or manage your content, you may find that putting it all together is overwhelming or unnecessary. So definitely feel free to skip this step if it doesn't apply to you. I still want to share these boards with you because maybe you are a fan of extreme organization, or maybe you already have a team of people helping you that can coordinate, or you can assign each of these boards to. First, we have the YouTube board. I've been doing YouTube for almost 2 years, or over 2 years, something like that. And I can honestly say that I've perfected the process so it flows super smoothly. Like honestly, my boyfriend sees me work and he sees how fast I can pop out YouTube videos. Like literally, I can pop out professional YouTube videos in 3 hours, and that's because of this system and this board that I created. So listen up. I will tell you how you can create and recreate exactly this board that I use. First, you should define the view board for this Asana board. Then you will need 5 or 6 sections. The first one is optional since it's meant to be a place where you write all video or content ideas, but you can also manage that on the motherboard. If you are still struggling with YouTube content ideas, then really there is no reason why you should. Please watch this video. I tell you every single thing you need to know in order to never run out of content ideas. Make sure to go there and watch it. It comes to the decision to manage your content ideas either on the motherboard or on the specific roadmap, specific platform board, and I think it really is up to you and if you have people helping you or not. I decided for now to use the motherboard because I want to repurpose all of my content ideas across all of my different platforms, therefore I put it all on the motherboard. However, if you have different people, for example, taking care of your YouTube, a video editor, or even a YouTube manager, then definitely you need to distribute it so that people know what's coming up on their specific platform that they're managing. Second section is called Content Outline. Here you can create a card for each video or piece of content that is coming up. It's important that you assign a date to the card and a person responsible. I like to assign the date that the piece of content is meant to go live, but if you have different people do the different stages of the creation process, then you can also assign the date that you want that stage to be ready. So for example, in that case, you need the content outline to be completed on that date, therefore put on that date so that the person that's creating it knows. This view allows you or the person that's responsible for this part of the content to know everything that's on their plate and also by what date their contribution should be done. The content outline or script was complete. All you or your team member needs to do is pass the card to section 3, which is recording. And you get to record the content that was outlined and pass the card to section 4, which is editing. After editing comes section 5, which encompasses the process of creating the title, description, deciding on tags, and creating a thumbnail. Uploading can be part of section 5 or can be section 6, and once that's done, you can finally tick the task. Best feeling ever. YouTube is, in my opinion, the most complex channel, or at least the one that requires the most coordination, the most amount of very different tasks. So having this view really helped me make it very streamlined and make the process of creating YouTube content way easier. And of course, repetition really helps. So definitely just create more videos using this process and then it will become way more intuitive. And I get to achieve that even as I produce several different videos at the same time. Before, it used to be super confusing, and I just got lost with all of my footage and also all of my stages that I needed, and I could not really keep to a schedule. So having this board was definitely a lifesaver. Now moving on to Instagram. As I said, I do not like to manage my Instagram content creation on Asana just because everything is very visual and everything is also on my phone. So obviously Asana is also on my phone, but the way I structure it is very differently. And I will create a whole video for it, so make sure to subscribe to my channel and just stay in the loop because I'm able to post 2 or 3 times a week, every single day. And also because of a system that I created that really allows me to stay consistent and stay in the pulse for what's going on and have a mix of pre-planned content and also impulsive or like responsive to what's happening content. So yeah, definitely subscribe. But overall, to create content for Instagram, I have 3 different stages. So the first one is inspiration. So I would definitely have a part of my Asana board section that would be about inspiration. So just looking at things that inspire me, what my brand stands for, what other creators are doing on the platform that I could repurpose some way and add my own twist to. Second one is the creation of visuals. Obviously, there is a lot of visuals that need to be created, whether it is pictures of you, graphics that you want to create, quote tiles. That's the second part of the process. And when I do this, hint already, pro tip, I create like 60 of them, you know, and then I just download them all to my phone and I have everything there so that I can use them. Some of them are related to the content that I am creating on YouTube and on other platforms, my blog, etc. And then I post them when I want to push these pieces of content. So whenever they went live, for example, if I want to promote my new YouTube video, then I post them. But at the same time, I also have others, for example, quote tiles or other things that I just keep for whenever I feel inspired, and I don't necessarily schedule them. I can schedule them if I don't have any other content, but I just keep them so I have an overflow of content ideas and content possibilities for me to post throughout the month. Finally, section 3 of this board would be hashtags and the scheduling. So obviously then you need to decide which hashtags you will want to use and also different combinations of the hashtags. So for that, I actually keep a very big Excel sheet and I group the hashtags in different sizes. And then I just plug some honestly random combinations of different sizes of hashtags until I define for the month or for this week which range of hashtag size I want to go for. Again, stay in the loop for future videos. I can explain this whole strategy to you in the future. Your blog board will be again also similar. Section 1 will be the keyword research section. Section 2 will be the post outline. You can have the post writing section be a part of section 2 or section 3, followed by section 4, that should be a read again before posting section, followed by section 5 that has you creating pins and Pinterest content. Finally, section 6 has you creating a meta title and meta description for the page, and section 7 has you actually posting the post online. Section 8 is when you share your post on Pinterest. The content on my blog is heavily integrated with my YouTube channel. That's how I get to manage these different platforms without spending so much time on it, because it is essentially the same content but repurposed. So I use my blog as a way to repurpose my YouTube content or the other way around. Therefore, my personal board, Asana board to manage these two, looks a little bit different in the initial sections. But in general, this is the general board I think you should go for if you're trying to start a blog. For the record, I start any piece of content with keyword research because I want to make sure that any piece of content that I am created, people are looking for it, people are interested in it, and therefore there's a point in me investing the time in creating this content. Then I write a script for YouTube. And the reason why I write a script for YouTube and not an outline is because I want to have a very easy and a very fast time adjusting my content from YouTube to the blog post. So normally I would just write an outline and then I just speak freely on the topic to my camera. But since I implemented the system, I definitely take the time to write a blog post, write an actual script, and then make it a little bit more written form so that it can be posted on my blog. However, I still also free talk. So I just have, basically now I just went on a whole tangent, like none of this is written. But yeah, then it's already written. I just need like about 10 minutes per script in order to have the YouTube content ready to post on my blog, if that makes any sense. But, and I really want to stress this, you can also do the opposite. And I feel like for the majority of my audience, that will probably be the case. So what you can do is you record your YouTube video or your podcast and you have it transcribed to text form. I use a service, whenever I do this, I use a service called Temi, or also Rev, they're the same company actually, that is super affordable. You just plug your video in there and they, in a few minutes, give you the transcription of the video, and then you just need to go through it, make sure everything is fine. There's always some words that are not perfect, but you just need to do that, and voila, you have your blog post. So these are just a few examples of like things you can consider when you're adjusting this content roadmap Asana boards to fit your own process. And definitely do not just use someone else's process. Make sure that the process fits you and your needs. So yeah, these are just some things for you to consider, different things you can manage your process. And yeah, this will make it so much easier for you to use content across the board, and yeah, do not spend so much time on it. Regardless of which platform you and your business are present on, using a system such as this one will help you tremendously and will make it so much easier for you to create content with ease. Will make it easier for you to create content with ease. You know what I mean? With time and as you use them, they will definitely evolve and you will adapt them and make them perfect for you. However, I can already tell you that from the moment that you implement them, you will already see huge improvements in the way you manage your everything. Your mind will also be way clearer. So I definitely would advise you to just try it out and then thank me later. I feel like I have way more time, my head feels way less chaotic because everything is under control and I know what is happening at each given moment, and this stuff gets to be fun now. I mentioned that as soon as I can have team members, this is ready for me to give it away to them. You know, some parts of the process, like this is just there and I don't need to create anything or think it through anymore. Like, how can I get other people to help me out and support me with these tasks? It is ready to be shared and help me out, you know. So that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you found this content useful, this video useful. I would love to hear from you down below what it is that you would like to hear next from me in terms of content strategy, content creation, you know, how can you make content easier, how I do it, how I create so much content, and you know, I don't have it consume all of my week. So yeah, definitely let me know down below your thoughts, and make sure to subscribe to my channel. Also, I have a freebie that you will want to grab, and basically it tells you about how you can start making more money with your content today. So it is for any type of content creator out there, whether you're a coach, an influencer, content creator of any kind. You should grab this freebie, and it will definitely help you start monetizing more from today. So definitely head on to my description box, the link is down below. And yeah, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and we see you next time. Bye.